Hello, lover. You've just entered a portal of pleasure, power, and deep, unapologetic sensuality. This is Talk Tantra to Me, where we liberate your authentic self, reclaim the wisdom of the body, and let pleasure lead the way. I'm your guide, Leola, tantrika, pleasure priestess, best-selling author of Sacred Sex Ed, and devoted student of the erotic mysteries. I'm here to strip away shame and awaken your most radiant, sacred, and sensual self. Get in, babe. We're conspiring for your most pleasurable life and seducing the world into a greater good. So, take a deep breath with a vocal exhale, relax that delicious body of yours, and let's talk Tantra. Over the years, I've been approached by many pleasure-based companies to promote their products, but I've only ever said yes to one person because I genuinely love these products so much, as well as the woman behind them. Wands, spelled W-A-A-N-D-S, is a crystal pleasure toy company, and they have been a part of my Tantra journey since the beginning. And they're not just toys, they're truly activators and beautiful sacred pieces of art that foster deep self-connection, pleasure, and transformation. These 100% pure crystal wands and yoni eggs help you unlock your body's wisdom, clear energy blockages, and amplify your pleasure, whether alone or with a partner. And it's not just about the products. For me, it's about the heart and the soul behind them. And the owner, Courtney, I absolutely adore her. She's been so generous to offer you, my beloved listeners, an exclusive 15% off with the code Leola, L-E-O-L-A. So if you're ready to honor your sacred sexuality and awaken your sensual energy, stepping into a pleasure-filled life, head to wands.com. Again, W-A-A-N-D-S, 2 A's, and use code Leola for 15% off. And you can always find the link directly in the show notes. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. Welcome to Talk Tantra to Me. It is such an honor to be back here with another juicy conversation. Today, I am joined by my husband, Mr. Andrew Lloyd Watkins. It has been a little over a year since you were last on the podcast. That episode is titled, Fuck Me Like a Shaman. It's very good. We got lots of positive response. Talk about lots of sexy things, obviously. And I highly recommend you go listen. But a lot has happened since that episode a year ago, Fuck Me Like a Shaman. A lot of life has happened. A lot of life has been created. Some life has died. Some life has been, just growing in my belly.
Do they know about that?
My miscarriage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about it quite a lot. I talk about it very transparently.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Highlight of that, though, now that Andrew's just here in front of me.
Yeah.
So we had a miscarriage almost a year ago now, though,
Yep.
I guess, because it was not long after you came on the podcast that happened.
Yep.
That was fucking hard. That was fucking gnarly for both of us for different reasons. Stimulated some healing, stimulated many upheavals. But there was a sweet moment that we had in that, which was me sitting on the toilet with the remains of our daughter and blood coming out of me and also shit coming out of me at the same time.
Yep.
And Andrew kneeling in front of me and saying, I know this is a weird thing to say, but you've never been more beautiful to me and I've never loved you more.
It's true.
And that feels like a good way to introduce you to the audience because not everyone has witnessed you. Some people this might be the first episode they're
During
listening
their
to.
miscarriage.
What do you mean?
That was not everyone has never mind.
Okay. So anyways, a lot has happened. A lot has happened since then. You're going to be a father. You've got a new job.
Yep.
Went through some deaths last year. Is there anything that you want to share just like as a little intro or like life update?
Not in particular. It's nothing that I feel like it'll come up during the conversation, like fun stuff to talk about, but nothing that I just want to just like raw dog and just lay out there. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to just go month by month and
yeah.
Cool.
No.
Okay, well, with that being said, we did have a few listeners that had some questions specifically because you're coming on to the podcast. And one of those questions was, how is our relationship changing, deepening, transforming in this chapter of becoming parents? So for those that are listening and aren't aware, I'm 6.5 months pregnant. So, so yeah, I think she just kicked actually. So that's so wild. Crazy. So yeah, do you want to speak to that? How
has our relationship changed?
Deepening, transforming, changing. What does that look like for us?
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those things where it's better to kind of show rather than tell, but I'll start with telling. And it's what it looks like is me falling in love in ways. Love is a really weird word. And I'm experiencing depths of love for another human being that I didn't really know was available. And it continues to deepen. And there are like all these different flavors of it. And that person's you, by the way, in case anyone was curious on who that was, and me, really, but mostly you. And well, actually, I think my love for you is a reflection of my improved love for myself as well. But rather than like just tell you that, what I've been noticing throughout this year is I'm thinking about myself way less and about the people in my life way more. So that is to say, I'm not really shy about this, but I'm a pretty like self-centered, self-focused human being, and I've made my peace with that. And the problem with being so selfish is I don't really find it to be a particularly successful mode for a successful life. I think you can have a very like materially successful life from being selfish and self-centered. I just don't think it feels very good. Mm-hmm. I think it in aggregate. I think it feels very good in like acutely. I think there's like these, just like having a Snickers bar in the moment feels acutely. But if my entire diet is Snickers bars, I'm probably not going to feel that good in the long term. Yeah. And the same it goes with myopathy, I think's the word, or solipsism, which are just fancy words for self-centeredness. And I tend to just be more miserable. And the more I find that I pour into my family, into my wife, and into other human beings, the general like just sense of ease and contentment I have with life increases and improves. So you could say I am selflessly selfish, as I do it because it feels good.
Amen. Love that. Yeah, for me, I don't know if it's just, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't think that we've been intentionally like, let's love each other more, or if that's just something that happens. Or I also feel like this particular spirit, and I think that all babies bring a unique aura or a unique, can you listen to me?
I'm 100% listening to you, but
he's like disgusted by this beverage.
It's so bad, but I have this weird thing where I've opened it and it's it looks like an expensive beverage, and I feel, and it has like quality, and I feel like I just need to finish it, but I am listening to you.
I hear you. It's like earlier today when I was working on that I was building 100%. A little table, and you were like, if I'm going to talk to you about this, I need your full attention. I feel that way right now.
Yep.
Ask for what you want in relationships. Your partner cannot read your mind. Lesson number 1. Anyways, so I just feel like each baby in the world is meant to bring its own blueprint, footprint, whatever. Some babies bring in abundance, and then suddenly as soon as they're born, their parents start making a lot more money. I don't know. This baby, I feel like, has just this really deep level of unconditional love that I have not experienced And the way that her spirit is bringing together like our community, even like I just felt so, we had our baby shower last week and I was just so overwhelmed by the generosity and the love of our community. And that was really cool. It was really cool because it feels like it's just for us as who we are. Like I feel like a lot of people have celebrated me or celebrated you, but it's because of like what we do, if that makes sense. And making a baby feels like the most like beingness activity for me. And so it just felt like, oh my God, these people are celebrating me for who I be, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Am I intellectualizing this well?
I think a little bit, yeah.
It makes a little sense. I don't know.
I've been known to do that once or twice, but yeah,
I
do. I think it's a baby, and babies are awesome, and people like celebrating life.
Maybe it doesn't need to be intellectualized. Maybe it's just like the love is deeper, and it is stronger, and it is better, and we are in more peace and ease and joy. Our intimacy has been amazing. That's been partially intentional, but also
I want to talk about intimacy actually.
Sure. Go for
because it like I think we should go into our intimacy journey. I think that would be actually a vulnerable thing to share, especially on the Talk Tantra Me podcast, especially what you do for a living.
Let's do it.
So breaking news, everyone. I don't know what camera to look at. I'll look at this one.
That's correct. That's a good one to look at.
And our sex life was like, I'd say like a 6 or a 5.
I think that for us, it was a 6 or a 5.
Well, what other scale matters?
Okay, great.
And so
I just think that we like when regardless at any season in our lives together, we have always had exceptional sex, and by like the comparison of like any other relationship that I had or by comparison to what I see in my work, because I work with a lot of people on their sexuality and on their intimacy. So I feel like our bars are just so much higher, if that makes sense.
And I think that was part of the problem.
I agree. I do. I agree.
But regardless of what we're comparing it to, it was a 6 for us, which means to say it was milk toast.
Yeah.
It was milk toast. It was average. It was like, it seemed more like work than play. And which is cool to say. I think it's cool to just talk about it, to be just considering what you do. If this was like a dentist podcast, I don't think that would be nearly as, maybe that still would be interesting.
Who listens to dentist podcasts?
Dentists, probably.
Probably. There's a market for everything.
And you came to me and were like, hey, and I'm paraphrasing here, we're like, we need to do something about this intimacy thing. Like maybe, I think we should see a sex therapist. And I'm like, the last thing we need is another therapist in our lives. And I have nothing against therapy. I think therapy's fine. But I'm already seeing like fucking 9 specialists for 18 different. I was like, I don't want a fucking another therapist. Yeah. And so
we also have all the tools. That was the other thing. But I was getting frustrated because I felt like we weren't using the tools. And I was like, I can't coach in this relationship. We need to get a professional or we need to fucking use the tools.
And so as the spiritual leader of our family, it's so women out there,
there needs to be a whole backstory about that we need to come back to, but I feel like we need to finish.
I'm saying that playfully, and we'll come back to it.
We'll come back to the spiritual leader in the family. We'll come back to that.
I'm more like question for I'm actually going to preempt what I'm about to say and say, ladies that are listening to this, how many times have you made a suggestion to your partner and your partner just like brush it, not take it in, not do it, not take it seriously, push back on it, not listen to it, and then somebody else somewhere says it to them fucking months later or years later, and then your partner comes back and like, you know what we should do? That thing that you told me 8 years ago. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I've been saying this for anyway. So
we had one of those moments.
Except no one was like suggesting other than me checking in with God to do the 3-minute game.
Yep.
And instead of going to therapy, which in my opinion, like couples therapy is like, let's just hash out grievances. which I don't think is going to get us any closer. Talking about our intimacy is not going to get us closer to intimacy. Doing intimacy is going to get us closer to intimacy.
And I think it's helpful if you have I don't think that a lot of couples have the tools to do intimacy in an effective way that's going to create transformation in their relationships, but we did have those tools. We just weren't using them actively.
Yeah. And for those that don't know what the 3-minute game is, the 3-minute game is actually, I forget the questions every time. Can you say the questions for me?
Okay, so we haven't even one of the tools that we use. There are lots of tools that one can use for deepening intimacy.
I'll go back even further, actually. Okay. I'll go back even further. Like we mentioned earlier, part of the problem in our intimacy is that the stakes were so big, the bar was so high. It was like everything needs to be this big fucking thing where we're fucking changing our inner DNA from how well we're fucking each other, and like shamans and seeing fucking gods and shit. It was like, what if we just took all of that pressure off of ourselves and just got together for a very brief window of time, which we have previously slotted throughout the week, to just connect intimately. Mm-hmm. And a strategy we use for that is the 3-minute game, where we spend a few minutes doing something to the other person, and then the other person takes a few minutes to do something to the other partner, and vice versa. And it totals for about like 15 minutes. The point being, though, is just to be intimate with our partner. It's not to actually like get it in. There's no objective other than connecting. It doesn't even need to get erotic. It doesn't even need to get sexual. It's just about being intimate with my partner. So one of my favorite requests that I made of Leola for 3 minutes is, I would love if I could pretend like I was sick for 3 minutes, and then you just take care of me while I'm sick.
So creative. Like, this is what I love about it, is you specifically have gotten, well, I think I've gotten creative with some requests as well, but that was a particularly creative one. But the idea of this is that you go back and forth spending 3 minutes on a particular prompt that's meant to facilitate connection. And again, it's 4 rounds of 3 minutes, so that adds up to 12. Make it 15 just to add a buffer. And we do this 3 times a week. So we do it every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday. And just the intention of doing that and opening the door has spurred, connection and creativity and better and more frequent intimacy and sex. Like, there have been many times that we've gone into it being like, we're not going to have any sex, and then we do. Or anytime that we do bring expectations, it's a lesson for us in learning to surrender to whatever energy is actually needed in our relationship in that moment. So it's really a space where we're just nurturing our connection and whatever the connection is needing. But the 3-minute game is based off of the Wheel of Consent, the work of the Wheel of Consent.
Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't know where that came from.
That's generally where it comes from.
Cool. I like wherever it came from. It's nice to just create a window of time to say, hey, here's where we're going to be intimate, and there's literally no expectation on what that has to look like. No one has to come, which is great. And then if coming happens, that's fine, but that's not the purpose of it. And at least what I found the outcome to be after doing this is feeling just closer to you. And I find when Leola doesn't get intimacy regularly, I'm going to blow up your spot here, which I think is fine. Leola gets like kind of feral and kind of like crazy and like kind of violent. And like she needs she needs to be settled down, and the only way to be settled down properly is through regular intimacy. And I haven't seen you get feral.
How do you think it impacts you? Like, I feel like you benefit from it too in a different way. Like,
yeah, I'm honoring the covenant of our marriage,
and that feels good.
It feels very good. Yeah. There's a marriage or a romantic relationship isn't like a friendship. It needs to be nurtured in a romantic way, in an intimate way that otherwise we're just roommates.
Yeah. Agreed.
we're just roommates who like share financial responsibilities.
Yeah. And it's also just, I think it's deeply healing as well for, you know, yeah, it just brings us into our hearts and into connection with each other. And that's really important for any couple and the trials and tribulations that you walk through in marriage and in life. I mean, I think there's been many times where it's like, yeah, like you get a space to be held. You know what I mean? Like even like this, the 3-minute request that you had around, I want to pretend like I'm sick and you're taking care of me for 3 minutes. That to me was something that you weren't just asking for to be silly. It was because there was a part of you that was longing to be held and cared for. And
Yep.
I don't think that a lot of men get that or get to ask for that.
Nope.
So yeah.
There was another time when I asked you just to stroke my face and tell me all the reasons that you're proud of me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was awesome. That's better than a lot of sex.
Yeah, which for men, for anyone, for any woman listening, this is just the biggest hack in relating to a man, knowing this, that men need like air, then they need water, then they need appreciation and like gratitude and respect. Yes. And so this is a vehicle where that can be blatantly requested or given to the partner, because yeah, we didn't go over the 4 rounds, but basically in one round you're each asking, what would you like to receive from me? So that person is getting to explicitly ask for what they want. And then the next round is, what do you want to do to me for 3 minutes? Mm-hmm. And so in that round I could say, I really want to massage your feet and like, you know, talk to you about your day or whatever that I feel as the partner would be maybe beneficial to my partner, to the other partner, or that I just genuinely want to do because I want to be like, I could just be like, I want to choke on your dick because I want to just lose my mind.
That's okay too.
Yeah. In your junk.
I want to make something like super laser clear for the women out there too. And you said this, but you said it like quickly, but I want to like put a super emphasis on it. And a lot of women think they're doing like an okay job letting their husband or their partner know that they love them. And yes, we have a need and desire to be loved as well. I think that's a fundamental, basic human need. But that need is lower than the need for love respect and appreciation. And I saw a tweet literally today that sums this all up. The next time you're thinking of saying I love you to your man, say thank you.
Yeah.
And there's so many fucking like reels out there and memes of a guy just being so stressed out and just having a shit day, and then he gets a text from his wife that's, I'm so proud of everything that you do for our family, and then it like cuts to like Rocky running and like Godzilla like just punching a fucking building in half, and like that is 100% accurate. There are times when I've just been walking around the house and Leola has stopped me and says, you know, I just want to say that I'm so proud of how you're showing up for our family today, and it completely changes my day.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but a little one that I like that works. I don't think you should do this every day, ladies listening, but I think that this is something that's nice to sprinkle in maybe once a week, is starting the day by asking him, what can I do to make your day better? Or what can I do to make your day easier? Or something like that. And this should come from a place of overflow. Like, I have the spaciousness and the capacity today, and I don't think that that's always available. But I think that it's something that makes you feel really seen for what you are doing, and like, how can I support you in, you know, taking something off your plate or whatever. And usually you say, actually, I'm good, but I really appreciate the sentiment. Or you might say, can you feed me at some point today?
Yeah.
Which thankfully I can. I work from home, and
I really like just doing that without even asking you.
Yeah.
I like to ask, and I don't do this all the time, but like throughout the day, what can I do to just make my wife's life a little bit easier today? And it's just a really simple and silly example of that is my wife is the unloader of the dishwasher, and I'm the loader of the dishwasher.
We have our roles, and I know them.
Because I fucking hate unloading the dishwasher, but for some reason, getting the gunk in the sink and like clearing gunk off dishes and putting them in the dishwasher does not bother me.
And that disgusts me.
So it's like match made in heaven. Perfect. We found a system.
I'll touch the clean dishes, organize them.
Yep.
He will touch the disgusting, dirty slop.
Totally fine. Doesn't bother me at all. And there are some days where there's a full clean dishwasher, and sometimes I just put the fucking dishes away. Because it's like, you know what? I've got the bandwidth. I'm going to put the dishes that are dirty into the dishwasher. Let me just take care of that for her. And that's one of those examples of like just thinking of myself less and thinking of her. And then our relationship is generally just better when we do more of that. Yeah.
I think that we went into this relationship talking about how the best relationships are those where both partners are putting in 100%.
Yeah. Hundo to hundo.
But
not 50-50.
That's easier said than done. And I think it's something that we've both gotten better at over the course of our relationship. And it's going to be so astronomically blown out of the water in level of importance once we have a baby.
Yeah. We basically have no idea like what we're talking about in regards to what it's going to be like when I have that child. Like I'm under no, I'm resigned and have accepted the fact that I am clueless as to what it will be like once this child enters the world.
I wouldn't say that you're completely resigned, because I do feel that you are asking questions and preparing and making yourself available for information that makes you as prepared as you can be.
I don't think I made myself like perfectly clear on that statement, which is like, it doesn't mean I'm like closed off to like new information. And like learning about how to be a good dad. What I mean to say is it is by definition impossible for me to know what it's actually going to be like until I have lived the actual experience.
This reminds me, I haven't talked to you about this, but at our baby shower, we did this game where we were both asked questions about various things related to parenthood, like who's going to sing our daughter the most songs, who's going to change the first diaper, whatever. And we didn't know how the other person was answering. And I went back and I watched the video. They videoed it. And the one of the ones that we both answered differently was who's most nervous for labor. And I said myself, and you said you. And I was actually really surprised by that, because I feel like you're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You're so chill about it. I'm like, wait, he's nervous for labor? Tell me more about that.
I don't remember answering that way.
All right. Well, how do you feel about, are you just chill about it?
In this moment, no. I wouldn't say I'm chill about it either. My biggest concern is that, is there being something completely out of my control and like devastating that happens to you.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yep. That's my nightmare.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, let's switch gears.
From you dying?
From you dying. So Andrew has prepared a few questions intentionally for this podcast. Actually, let's talk about you being the spiritual leader, because that's a good segue into this.
What do you want to talk about?
So about a year ago, I think it was, you randomly referred to yourself as the spiritual leader of our family when we were like driving in the car. And I remember I had so many visceral reactions to you saying that. There was a part of me that was like, what the fuck do you mean you're this? No, you're not. You're the spiritual leader. Obviously, I'm the spiritual leader of the family, like, which was 90% my ego. And then there was also this part of me that was like, oh, but it would kind of be cool if he was the spiritual leader of the family. Like, that would be hot. Like, if I could just get out of my need to be right and superior and the best and the knower and the coach and all the pants-wearing woman in the relationship. Actually, if my husband really embodied the spiritual leader in the family, that would be great. And I think that it was about a year ago that you really started to take on that response. Like, you started to have a deeper relationship with God, maybe a little bit more than a year ago. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just was like, are you? Like, met it with curiosity. And then it's been something that we kind of just like joke about every once in a while. And now I would say it's actually more true in a sense. I think that we both have things that we lead with in the relationship. And today I was trying to come up with a theme for this episode, or like a topic, because we have many episodes with Andrew on, and some of them are like, this is what our relating style is, or this is how we handle money in our relationship, and they have specific themes, right? And I just could not, the muse was not bestowing me with her magic. And so I talked to God about it, and I was like, I'm feeling resistance to really nailing down a theme, blah, blah, blah. And God was like, yeah, it's because you're meant to surrender to your husband's spiritual leadership in this matter and have him lead this podcast. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Because when we were originally talking about doing this podcast, I was like, I'll come up with some questions, you come up with some questions, we'll show them to each other beforehand. And like, I wanted to have all this control around it. And I was like, oh, actually, what if I don't know any of the questions and my husband goes into this completely leading it, which isn't exactly what's happening, but in a way, that's what the next part of the episode is going to be. So, do you have anything you want to add to that? How does it feel to be the spiritual leader of our relationship?
It feels right and true.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's what it feels
like.
like.
I wish I could have like preempted that, been like, he's going to say this.
Yeah,
but
you're probably right. And I wasn't the spiritual leader of our relationship for the first few years. You know, I just wasn't. But I feel great saying that right now. It just feels right and true.
What does it mean to you to be the spiritual leader? Like, what does that actually entail?
It means to actually have a relationship and continue to deepen and build a relationship with God. Mm-hmm. And then bring that and then live that in the family.
And you doing that, in my eyes, has strengthened my relationship to God as well. And I don't think I've told you this, because I think I'm just now realizing it. But the amount that you have trusted God and built your relationship to God, which has exponentially increased, especially over the last 6 months, but it has inspired me to relax more because you're more in leadership. So I'm way more relaxed.
Yep.
About all things. Like, I feel like in previous seasons of all, like really the whole rest of my life, and even in seasons of this relationship, there were things that I felt like I needed to hold on to and control, because if I didn't, it would all fall apart. And a lot of that was subconscious, but I mean, I really feel like it's inspired me to surrender and trust. And there's like that visualization of a marriage that some communities share, which is, you know, a pyramid, and like God's at the top, and then the woman's on one side of the bottom of the pyramid, the man's on the other side. And as both individuals get closer to God, they're also getting closer to each other. And I think that that's been very obvious for us in your leadership, moving us up that pyramid. If you're a woman who considers herself spiritually awake, deeply devoted, already walking your path with intention, then listen up. I know you've manifested, meditated, sat in ceremony, you know the language of ritual and reverence. And still, you know your pleasure and sensuality hold even more possibility, because erotic embodiment is about moving, speaking, creating, and leading from the deep intelligence of your womb, your heart, and your pussy. The Pleasure Priestess Initiation is an invitation into that next octave. This is a year-long tantric mystery school for women to be initiated into the sacred art of orgasmic leadership, to reclaim your dark feminine gifts, heal the sisterhood wound, and seduce the world into a greater good. This is where we do life and love together online, in ritual, month after month, and of course in the flesh for a juicy in-person immersion. Inside, you'll explore potent Tantra practices that are meant to be lived and adapted to share with your beloved, your sisters, and maybe even with the world through your own offerings, community, and facilitation. You'll be held in a field of high-level support with guest sexperts, medicine women, and embodied leaders who are already walking this path alongside you, as well as 24/7 access to our electric WhatsApp temple to stay connected, supported, and in celebration of this tantric life. The Pleasure Priestess is open for enrollment now to start at the end of April. But as soon as you join, you get access to over 100 hours of previous Tantra trainings, resources, and the vault of our past guest teachers. This is an initiation into your power, into your pleasure, into the woman you know you came here to be. Click the link in the show notes to claim your seat in the temple or visit us at www.talktantratome.com/pleasure.
You feeling, well, I wanted to make that like God is a giant pyramid scheme joke, and then I decided not to, but then I did it anyway.
Please elaborate.
No, well, just the metaphor, and then, but it doesn't matter. It's not the point I wanted to make anyway. And I don't think it's a coincidence that you're feeling, you're letting go and of the wheel a bit more. Because that's also my predicament, is along with selfishness and self-centeredness is really a control disorder, which is the world is not as it should be. Well, and I am the one to go make the world the way that it needs to be, because I actually don't feel okay about how the world is.
Yep.
And so my strategy to start feeling okay is to control everything and everyone around me and manipulate the situation so that I can feel okay, which is also just not hot, because, ladies, I'm sure you've experienced this. You're having an emotion, and your man doesn't react well to you having this emotion. I'll speak for myself. There have been times Leo's having an emotion. I'm like, I don't want to fucking be a part of this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
And so I want this to stop. And so and this is so cliche, right? This is a strategy that men and I have used is, let me go fix this for you right now, which is infuriating for you guys, right? So there's the fix it, which is really, we said, so this is, I was thinking about this actually earlier today, which was, men, we say, oh, we're fixers. We want to fix this. We know you don't. I mean, yes, you do. We do want to fix it. But what you really want is for this awkwardness, this emotional exchange to stop, so it's not uncomfortable anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I really want. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I don't like to say you, and that's what you fucking want too.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's uncomfortable, and human beings generally don't like discomfort too much. I know I don't. And so that's one little microcosm of the thousands of other microcosms of me trying to manipulate the world around me so that I can feel okay, aka control. And the deeper I build, and let me preempt this by saying, I don't do this God stuff, this spiritual stuff perfectly. I fuck up all the time. I screw up all of the time. And that's not the point. A lot of a lot of this whole industry, I'm infuriated by all these fucking experts all of the time that come on and spout shit. And then I find out, I find out 2 years later, that guy who's a fucking huge guy about health and wellness and well-being, he's fucking 19 different women and promising that he's going to marry all of them. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, no, I'm not doing anything like that, but I'm also not perfect. I am deepening a very new relationship with God that I have. That the door's been open my entire life, and I am just now really starting to earnestly walk through the door and to build the relationship. And there are times when I get guidance and through my conscience, and I just don't do it. A perfect example, I was supposed to stretch today. And it was like, I really need to stretch today. Yeah, and that was my conscience going, you've been working out a little bit. It's going to be good for you. Should probably stretch. It's going to be good for your body. It's good so you can pick up your little girl. Stretch today. It's been a few days. I fucking didn't stretch. I stayed on the computer. Didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not the point. I'm going to make mistakes. The point is do I have a practice so I can actually take account of how out of integrity I am with myself and the people around me, and then correct it. And also give myself grace so I'm not just fucking beating myself up all the time.
Yeah.
I'll end with this because I feel like I've been talking a long time. And then one of the other manifestations of my control disorder is perfectionism. Because then if I can do the thing perfectly, if I can be perfect, if I can be absent of I will be okay. And then it requires this unyielding, unending spinning of plates of perfection, this attainability that I can never achieve. And then what I'm starting to see is that there are two like beautiful gifts in that shadow of perfection of it. And one is discernment, and then the other, is grace. And it's like, I'm going to inevitably screw something up. And it will be my fault. And I don't deserve forgiveness. But can I do it anyway? Which is the very definition of grace.
Yep.
It was like, I knew it was the wrong thing to do. I did it anyway. And I don't really deserve to be forgiven about it. But I'm going to get forgiven anyway.
Yeah. I'm thinking about how our relationship in its unique way has so deeply expanded my ability to love because of how it has called me forth to have grace for you and for myself. And I don't think that everyone gets to experience that. And that is the beauty that is available in those fucking hard times in marriage and relationship. And I really I don't trust any relationship that hasn't been through some turmoil, because it's in those moments that you really have the opportunity to demonstrate unconditional love and grace. And
well, I'm down. If folks haven't had turmoil in their relationship and it's been a decade, fuck it, that's congratulations. That's fucking awesome. I have nothing to learn from you. Because you're just sorcerers who just get it, and that's awesome.
Maybe,
right?
Or they're bypassing.
Maybe,
something.
either way, there's nothing there,
yeah.
And I can't really relate because I am a very flawed human being that has to do a lot of work to navigate life. But to just put a bow on this point and then go into asking you some questions is. And so with all of this practice and all of this control and this perfectionism as a way to feel okay, the only antidote that I have found that works is surrender. Anytime I'm feeling anxious about a situation, that is a sign that I have not handed over or surrendered that over to God and given it over. And I don't give it over all the time. One thing I don't like giving over is my career stuff.
Oh yeah, that's really hard.
And the more successful one is in the more reluctant I am to be giving it over.
I hear you, and I have so many things to respond to, but we have 14 minutes left for what was meant to be the body of this podcast. So what are your top ones that you wanted to add?
The top question. I don't know. I feel like we were on fire. We could have kept going with that one.
Well, I think that I could keep going with one of the questions that you had, which was, I think, the first one.
I like this. Yeah, I like the first two a lot. So you hold space for people's sexual and spiritual awakenings, evolution, et cetera, et cetera. What is the starkest contrast between Leola, the Tantra teacher, on this microphone, on this podcast, at your retreats, in your book, and the woman that you are, that you're actually with me behind closed doors?
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to intellectualize this. And feel free to support me in this, because I think that you understand my brain and have seen my journey with this specifically.
What would support look like?
We'll see. Okay. Let me, first, don't interrupt me. That would be a good start.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because it's related to what you were speaking to, which is the truth is that this work of Tantra is so deeply about releasing attachment to identity and to ego. And to me, the death of a tantrika begins any moment that she's too attached to any particular identity or way of being. The very essence of Tantra is about calibrating to expansion, to liberation, to your highest self. And that looks different in every season of life, right? And I've been doing this work professionally for 7 years. I've been in this space for about 12 years. And there's been many different versions of me that have expressed themselves and come online. And my identity is so ingrained in being Leola, the Tantra teacher, that I am starting to question if it's actually the best thing for my expansion right now to like pour more into that, if that makes sense. Like, let me just collect this for a second. You were speaking about giving your career stuff to God and how hard that is. And coming into this next chapter of life, motherhood specifically, that's already such an ego death. But I also feel that my relationship to my work could be even more powerful if I completely separated myself from it for, I don't even know if I need to do that, or like I've slowly reformed my relationship to my business, but I almost wonder if I had a reset, because I kind of just fell into doing this and then I was good at it and I liked it and it was like changing lives, and that stroked my ego cock. And now I don't know what it's like to not stroke my ego cock while doing this work. And I wonder, but anyways, so I've kind of just given it to God. I've been like, if you want me to do this, keep doing the podcast, keep doing Pleasure Priestess, keep doing the retreats, like make it known to me in obvious ways and communicate that to me. And God has, in various ways. And that might change. Like, I don't know what's going to happen when I become a mom and what that's going to look like and how that's going to affect how I want to relate to my business. But, yeah, to answer your question, the stark difference is that I think that people see me in the role of Tantra teacher and they're like, wow, she's got it figured out. She knows her shit, blah, blah, blah. And the truth is I don't fucking know. I'm just like listening. I'm just trying to listen to what God has to say. And I do it to varying degrees of success. I think I'm getting better. I don't know for sure, because I've also got a big fat ego. So do you want to add anything based on knowing me, or does that make sense?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like but yes, I think you did answer the question. I was worried there for a second, but then you tied it up. I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to reel you in, and then I'm gonna have to support you.
I feel the same way every time you talk. I'm like, how did we get to 45 minutes? Like we had, like, anyways, this is how it is every time we do a fucking podcast together.
So the way I hear the question is, there are like roles that we play, and there's nothing bad or wrong about that. It's like when I'm at work, I'm not the same as I'm with you or with my grandmother, right? There are roles that we play, and that's fine and normal.
Yeah.
And so I hear the question as, there's the role of Leola, the Tantrika or the Tantra teacher, the podcaster and the author, the boss babe. And I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit on that one. And then I just don't like that phrase. Anyways, that's my own stuff.
He doesn't like the phrase, but he likes how it contributes to our gross household income.
I do. I have no problem with that. that money is green. And so there are those roles, and what is like something stark that comes out to you or is obvious to you about how different that role is to the role of the wife? How are you over with me?
Are you asking me that?
Mm-hmm. That's the question. That's really the question.
Did I not answer that? Do I need to go back and do it again?
I think well, you asked me what my thought was on that, and I see much like softer and vulnerable side of you. There's a degree of vulnerability in facilitating that I think engenders more facilitation. And then I think there's a degree of vulnerability that is not appropriate for facilitation.
Yeah.
And that's unique to something that you should be sharing with an intimate partner.
I agree with that. In fact, I've actually had collaborators be like, you need to be less vulnerable. You shouldn't say that stuff to our group of participants. And I've been like, I'm going to be authentic. And it might be a detriment. I don't know. But for me, like, I know so many people that facilitate and that do the work or whatever. And then I see what's happening behind clothes. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't hire someone that I didn't feel like was really vulnerable about what they've walked through.
I agree.
Personally.
I'm not saying not to be vulnerable. I think that there's a unique set of vulnerability that's just by definition of the relationship is unique to us. Yeah. So there's a softness that I see of yours, a vulnerability that I see of yours. There's a goofiness of yours that I see, which isn't in these other personas. And then lastly, I fucking smell your farts. Yeah, you know, it's and it's like I love it. I don't love the farts themselves, but I love the level of intimacy that's required for just two people just be farting around each other. And I love it. It's very near and dear to me.
Yeah, I think that I answered your question in a way more like I don't know, meta way. Is that the right word? Whereas if I were to answer your question more directly, I would say I think with you in our relationship, there's way more goofiness and spiciness that you've actually inspired me to bring more into my work, but I actually think would benefit to bring even more in.
To the work?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have some conditioning that I need to overcome for that.
Yeah, it's like I have to know the things, and I have to be professional. I can't be playful and goofy.
I can't have anyone not like me because I was a little too spicy.
Yep.
It's gotten better. But.
Well, and we mentioned like people being different behind closed doors, and I think that's normal and fine. What I don't want is inauthenticity. Yeah. It's when people put on a veneer of like near perfection, like I have mastered these things and that's why I'm worth listening to. And then I just see how they act in their real life and I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah. This is totally out of alignment. And look, that would be fine if they just owned it on the other end.
Yeah, which to be fair, like I'm not perfect. So I'm just going to say that so no one can come after me. And it's still something that I'm working on. And I'm going to share something really vulnerable that you were like, I think this would be good to share on the podcast. And I was like, I don't know. I'm still like beating myself up about this.
Oh.
But, so I'll share it. I'll fucking share it. I'm going to go there because you've inspired me. At our baby shower, I did everything. Which I did, like, to be real, to prep for it. That's an important thing to just start with. I asked Andrew to do a toast because he is the spiritual leader of our family, right?
And I just happen to be particularly good at toasts.
Yes, Andrew's great at toast. So I thought that would be a great way to kind of, once everyone arrived, to corral and, you know, just set the tone, right? So he gives this toast, and it's even better than I thought or could have imagined. People are crying. It's so great. And then, like, suddenly it's my turn to talk, and I just completely fall on my face because I'm just so overwhelmed with the emotion and how awesome you were that I was actually intimidated. I was intimidated by my husband's awesomeness. And my fucking human ass reaction was so disrespectful.
Yeah, how did you react, dude?
I said, so Andrew gives this speech and I was like, wow, that was amazing. I did everything for the shower. That's the thing that he did. Like, what was I thinking? Like, I just started, like, it was true, but it came from this place that was like, oh, he did so good and now I need to say something great and I am lost for words. Literally, I'm lost for words. So I need to make up for it by making myself look okay and saying that I did all the decorating and the organizing. It's like so dumb.
And what was most adorable about that whole thing was like this was all self-imposed. No one even expected you to like follow up the toast.
No, I could have been like, and thank you.
Yeah, literally all you could have said was like, and thank you so much, honey. Enjoy the party, everyone. And that was it.
I put all of this pressure on myself, and I just let things. Yeah, it was like, I don't know. Someone probably noticed and was like, that was weird. Probably most people did. What do you think most people noticed?
I don't know if most people did, but definitely a handful of people noticed. Absolutely.
It's It's making it
and
worse.
Laughed. They all laughed.
I did. It was kind of funny how I said it and did it.
It was obvious. It was obvious to anyone who knows you that you were incredibly nervous. And it came out of a complete nervous, like, weird part of your brain.
It was, I think I just hit a receiving limit is what happened. Like, I think in real time, I hit a limit for receiving, and it was tested, and I kind of blew my spot a little bit. I kind of failed my receiving edge test.
Yep.
It's okay, but we got to talk about it afterwards, and we're talking about it now, and now I can win the next receiving limit test. I'm ready. I'm ready, universe. Bring it on. So that's how I'm imperfect in something that I fucked up recently.
Yeah, she literally, after receiving like a tear-inspiring welling of love, an outpouring of love through the expression of like word to her, which is basically just like 7 minutes of fucking poetry and devotion to this woman. She's like, by the way, everyone, I did this whole party.
Yeah.
Do we have time? No,
we don't really, but I think that we
don't.
can go a couple minutes because, God, we should just book these for a longer block and then chop off the first portion almost.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think that we really get in our flow like an hour in.
Well, I'll do the easy one. Yeah. We operate in a space that values radical honesty. Mm-hmm. But every couple has a shadow. What is the darkest or most chaotic part of our dynamic that we actually draw energy from, even if it doesn't fit the quote-unquote enlightened or spiritual mold?
Okay, so I want to answer this one. Let's try to do it fast because there was one more that I wanted to answer, which was about being out of my head. Do you remember that one?
I can find it.
So, but let's answer this one first. So...
This one's really easy.
What is the chaotic, unhinged, unspiritual thing that we do that actually gives us energy and brings us closer?
Yep.
We fucking love arguing with each other. We love it. We love fighting. We love busting each other's balls so hard. I think that most people, if they saw how we talk to each other on a daily basis,
they'd be like, "This is not."
They'd be like, "This is a problem."
Yep.
But for us, it's a way that we express our passion. I think that we both grew up in homes that were like fighting, or maybe not enough things were said, and it feels like we just get it out in this way, but we know that we're like joking with each other, and we have ways that we cut it off though. Like if it goes too far, if it's almost going too far, we say lavender. If it goes too far, we say purple. That goes for anything in our relationship where like if we're having an actual argument too, we also use that. That's our communication frame. But
yeah, we play fight, and it like scratches this really dark itch.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but if I were to guess where it came from, I grew up just, my parents were just fighting all the time.
Yeah.
And like there was just chaos.
Yeah.
And so if there's like a moment of calm, or like there's a little fucking goblin inside of me that's like, you need to be fucking spicy with her right now. And then I'll use that exact tone that I just had. I need to be spicy with you. And we have a little tone when we're spicy with each other. We know we're playing.
Yeah. Yeah, so. Exactly. It's like when your dogs are like growling at each other and you're like, ooh, scary, like, oh, but they're really just fucking playing. It's exactly like that.
It's just like that. And it's kind of BDSM-y in a way.
It is.
It's BDSM-y, and it's just with words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't remember the question. So you want to tell me what the vibe of it was?
It was, when have you been the most surrendered in your body? Something like that.
Oh, something like that? Okay.
It's okay if we don't have time to do it. Basically, what I want to do is I want to tell the story of what happened last Sunday with our sex. That when we were talking about it before the episode. That's
Industry requires constant ego deaths. What is an old version of us, or an old belief?
No, it wasn't that one.
Okay.
It's okay. So we were doing the 3-minute game on Sunday after our baby shower. We're both pretty exhausted from the day. Like, not just, like, first of all, it was emotionally intense for both of us to hold the love in our house and to receive that. Obviously, I pretty much failed that to begin with. And
I think you're being too hard on yourself.
I'm joking, but we had to, clean up the house and do various things. But Sunday night we do the 3-minute game. We have our intimacy date night, whatever. And so we sit down to do it, and we're both like, this is not going to be like one where either of us are going to put out a lot of energy. Meaning we're not having sex tonight because we're both tired, zombed, whatever. I think I give to you for 3 minutes doing something. I don't remember. Then I request that you massage my lower back for my sciatica. This is sexy, guys.
Hot.
I have sciatica. I've had sciatica my whole life, but it flares up. I'm pregnant, whatever. So I'm like, can you massage my pregnancy sciatica? I've got my naked ass up in the air. Yeah, and then I just add in as an aside, if you feel inspired to make it sexy, you can. But I'm not expecting anything at all.
Yep.
And we had that transitioned into some really good sex.
Yes, it did.
That's it.
Yes, it did.
We almost made a baby again, but...
You were already pregnant.
I was occupied.
And my sperm is not that powerful.
I don't know. I think we should keep trying. See what we can get away with. With God on our side.
Anything is possible.
But yeah, I mean, I think that just speaks to the volumes of like taking the expectations off the table completely. And at every point in the sex, I was like, this is going to end in like, it's going to be a very short, we're going to end in like 30 seconds. But we kept going for like quite a while. And you like came really hard and like, there were many peaks and valleys. Like it was pretty nuts.
It's cool. It's cool. It can happen.
Anyways, I just thought we might want to end on that note, but
sure. Well, we did.
You feel like you're complete.
No, I mean, I could talk for another 90 minutes to you about us.
Do you have any last words?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Well, first of all, thank you to my husband for being here, welcome. Bestowing us with his wisdom and love and truth and authenticity and grace and godliness. You are a God. I love you. Thank you to the listener for opening yourself up to this spicy and sexy and sacred conversation. And we'll catch you next time on Talk Tantra to Me.
Bye, y'all.
Ta-ta.
Every woman has a pleasure superpower. Do you know yours? If not, I created the free Pleasure Power quiz to help you discover your unique pleasure archetype so you can maximize what comes naturally to you, deepen your confidence in your desires, and embody your pleasure with the most ease and power. When you take the quiz, you'll also receive a free Tantra ritual tailored to your unique archetype. This is designed to help you embody this aspect of yourself and not just understand it intellectually. Also, don't miss the free Sexual Shadow Work Workbook, your guide to clearing shame, activating your turn-on, and stepping into your most radiant embodied self. Find them both at www.talktantratome.com/free or get the link in the show notes. Life is about to get so very juicy.